it's bueno. And so now you can say you're not keeping eye contact with me. It gives you the foundation, and it's the language of adulthood. Now everybody can have and understand that we are all speaking the same language, and it's personal accountability. And so when people are not using the 74 principles of real leadership, they've done something and they haven't apologized and they're wrong, say, hey, one of the 74 principles of real leadership is to apologize when you were wrong, and you didn't apologize. Hold others accountable to those 74 principles of real leadership, because that's one of the 74 principles of real leadership. So in all this, when you are following the 74 principles of real leadership, guess what it makes simpler to do? Reprimand privately. It allows you the ability to reprimand people because you're just addressing the performance or the behavior. And in this instance, the principles of real leadership are behaviors that tell you what to do. And if you do the opposite of them, that means that you're being personally unaccountable. What questions do you have about the context or use of reprimand? Hold up. There we go. Yeah, or they got kicked out of school. Yes, ma'am, they did. And sometimes get kicked out of the whole school district. Repeat parenting. So parenting is parents or guardians must reprimand for misbehaviors. Most parents believe that punishment changes. It doesn't. It's just like, and Kevin, you know this from being in criminal justice and law enforcement, the recidivism rate for second-time offenders increases. It doesn't decrease, because prison reform doesn't actually work, because you're not actually reforming them. They go back to prison and they come out better criminals. Very few people, and I've been researching the number recently, but very few people come out and say, I'm going to be a better person. That's not what happens, because the behavior isn't being addressed. So when you are reprimanding as a parent, if you take punishment out of the equation and you transition to, I'm addressing your performance and your behavior, I'm reprimanding the performance and the behavior, you actually receive a better outcome because you're strategic. And so this is the example that I would use. The friend that I was friends with for 10 years and severed that relationship is whenever her daughter was born in 1997. She was a teen mom. My friend was. So when the daughter was a teenager, whenever she did something wrong, they would take her phone or they would take her cord to her TV. No matter what she did, take the phone and take the cord to the TV. And I told my friend, that's not going to work, because she's somewhere already saying, when is the next party? 2 weeks. So I'm going to text y'all right before I walk in the house because I'm about to be late. Y'all not going to hear from me for about a week, because they ain't not going to put me on punishment longer than that, or restriction is what they used to call it too if you're in the South. And that's it. And the behavior never changed. It never changed. They just knew, and it was lazy parenting, because the parents just knew, well, we're just going to take her, and she's sitting in her room, and then she'll go talk to everybody. As soon as she got the phone and the TV cord back, that was it. I, on the other hand, like the art of war, so the element of surprise. You popped off, and I don't know what you're going to do, and you don't know what I'm going to do. So let's address the behavior and not just say you're on punishment, but you are going to be calibrated. So when my amazing offspring swung at me at 9 years old because the people in her class told her, moms do laundry and you don't have to do laundry, she then got a lot of stuff changed in her life. She started having to wash and comb her own hair. She started having to do laundry. She had to start a business. She had to start a fashion blog. And so I said, oh, you got a little bit too much energy, little girl. And now you're not getting no more allowance. You are now an entrepreneur. That's what's going to happen to you. So you're going to have to work for your money. And now she is a successful entrepreneur who knows how to make fashion decisions. She can type and she can form her own opinions, because I gave her skills that she was going to need. She's going to need to learn how to use a keyboard. She's going to need to learn how to set up a website. She's going to need to be able to give people receipts after they pay for their services, all things, skills that she actually uses now. So she was being reprimanded, but she was also being given a skill set. And the person that has had her phone cord and her television taken away is currently, she has 2 children, and she's a waitress at Cracker Barrel in Georgia. So calibration works. Punishment does not. And let me know if I've answered your question. Kevin, Nola, no, the problem in my English class got kicked out of school writing with the cheating. Oh, they got kicked out of the school because they were cheating with the writing. And then Kevin, let me know if I answered your question.